If you think about it, the holiday time is really for kids, and kids of all ages. When I was a youngster, we used to collect baseball cards. Now, who would have thought it? Cartoon characters become collectible items. We're now going to visit an animation art gallery in Huntington, and you're going to be amazed. One piece in that art gallery goes for $25,000. Take a look at this. Aaron, it's one thing to be a home collector. How does one get involved in starting an animation art gallery?
Well, it was very easy for me, being a cartoonist myself. I actually started cartooning professionally for about 15, 20 years ago, working for people like Marvel Comics and Warner Brothers and different freelance jobs, and I just loved having the artwork from my friends around me to use as reference or inspiration. It was just great to have the memories of the flesh and blood of those characters nearby.
You know, every artist that I've seen and talked to has a vision. What kind of vision did you have for your art gallery?
Well, I wanted it to be more than a gallery. I wanted it to be a cultural center, a real fun museum type of atmosphere where people could come in and really learn and appreciate the art so they could appreciate what they purchase and hang on their own walls.
One of the tricks of the trade, you mentioned museums and acquiring pieces for it to be exhibited. How do you acquire your pieces?
Well, that's the fun part. It's really a treasure hunt. You could get them from a garage sale, an estate auction, directly from the animators. Some of the more recent art comes from the studios. You never know where you're going to find something.
You know, holiday purchasing is like taking door 1, door 2, door 3, Lady of the Tiger. Any recommendations for holiday gifts?
Well, we have lots of pieces in the gallery that start from original art, actually starting from $5 and up. But there's one piece that I always recommend, and it's this Mickey Mouse serigraph, which was the 60th anniversary commemorative serigraph showing Mickey in his famous Sorcerer's Apprentice garb from Fantasia.
I tell you what, that's just a small sample of what you have in store. Let's go take a tour if that's okay with you.
Oh, great.
All right.
Sounds great.
Aaron, one of the highlights of your gallery is a part of an original Disney studio.
Yes, this studio right here is Frank Thomas's studio, famous Disney animator. He was one of the 9 old men at Disney, and this was from 1943, and a lot of the Disney classics were actually animated on this desk. Classics like Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, Lady and the Tramp, and Jungle Book.
What was on the desk that we saw there?
Well, that was a drawing of Baloo from Jungle Book that he was figuring out how the characters should be posed.
For the uninitiated who like cartoons but don't know anything about the process, what is an animation cell?
Well, a cell is a clear piece of acetate that is laid over a background, and it's the character is, you can probably see it better here, the character is painted and placed within the background, so everything around the character is see-through, so you can see the background and the characters within that scene.
Camstock technology, what's new in terms of animating films?
Well, right now Disney's feature films are all done on computer, so the cells are becoming extinct. And what they do is they do a drawing similar to this one here from The Lion King. They do a roughed out drawing, then it's scanned into a computer and is colored into the computer and laid over the background, and they actually do some pretty intricate camera moves through the computer as well.
All right, let's do some intricate moves that are on. Let's move along and take another look at your animation art gallery. Aaron, this piece is spectacular. I'm a history buff. Tell us how you acquired this piece.
Well, this piece is an actual painted mural from the Warner Brothers studios in Burbank. It actually was a wall at the studio, and this was painted in the mid-'80s, and the studio was torn down, and everything virtually was destroyed except this mural. So we found out about it, had it crated up, and had it sent out to Cartoon World here.
All right. We're going to shock some people. What does it cost?
$25,000.
So people should save up if they want this piece. There's an installment plan here?
Oh, sure.
All right. It's really spectacular in that sense. I think if you sold this one, you'd be missing something, but I guess everything's for sale.
It's true history, but we'll miss it, but I'm sure it'll go to a good home.
All right, let's find some other places in the gallery and we'll talk about those.
Okay, great.
Aaron, I'd be remiss before we leave the gallery to talk about The Simpsons.
Well, what you're looking at is a one-of-a-kind original production cell actually used to make the TV series.
Right. An older generation was stoked on Gumby. Let's talk about Gumby.
Well, Gumby just celebrated his 40th anniversary.
That old?
Yeah.
Boy, an aging baby boomer.
This is actually some of the original models and props and sets of Gumby. We have Lunar Module, and Gumby's up there waving his American flag. And we also have some of the murals and blockheads and trains and cars. And there's a hardware store down here, too, with some of the human characters that interact with Gumby as well.
One of the oldest pieces in the store is a drawing of the sinking of the Lusitania.
Right, that was done in 1918 by Winsor McCay, and that's one of the earliest examples of a cell.
I want to thank you very much for giving us a tour of the art gallery. And we'll come back in the future and see some more things.
My pleasure. You're welcome anytime.
And happy holidays, my friend.
Thanks, same to you.
Okay.